You know, there's one NBA topic that has bothered me over the years. And watching today's NBA, knowing the history, I call it hypocritical. Here's what I'm talking about. I'm referring to the NBA's comments about the ABA, the American Basketball Association. In the 70s, the NBA called the ABA a gimmick league because of the colorful uniforms, the high scoring, and the no defense style of play. They even said the idea of the three-point line wasn't basketball. Does any of this sound familiar? Can we say today's basketball, boys and girls? Today's basketball is called the NBA. If they really couldn't play NBA basketball, how come 63 of the 84 players made it to the NBA that year? For the 76-77 season, the NBA allowed 4 teams to merge. The San Antonio Spurs, the Indiana Pacers, the Denver Nuggets, and the New York Nets. Yeah, I said the New York Nets. Brooklyn? Yeah, okay. The reality is, the stars of the 76-77 season were mostly ABA players. And some of the names that come over: Bobby Jones, Rick Barry, George the Iceman Gervin, Julius the Good Dr. Irving, Moses Fo Malone, and Connie the Hawk Hawkins. The list goes on. Now, what really bothers me is the fact that the NBA used these players to stay afloat and didn't even allow these ABA players to transfer their stats over to the NBA. At least they could have added one of these to their name. And 2 players come to mind: Billy Knight and Super John Williamson. 2 superstars lost in history. For some reason, that always bothered me. All right, I got some of that off my chest. Now, to keep a little Knick flavor on this segment, how many Knicks fans know this little tidbit? Now, there was a clause stating that any of the chosen ABA teams had to pay a territorial tax to the team that was already there from the NBA. The New York Nets couldn't come up with the payment. So, somebody in their front office had a brilliant idea. So they offered their young superstar to the Knicks as a way of waiving the territorial tax. And the Knicks said no. That player was Julius the Good Dr. Irving. Doc could have been a Knick. Pearl, Clyde, the Doc, at least 1 or 2 more championships. At that time, we was running around with Jim McMillan and Bill Bradley. And the Knicks said no. Well, the Nets, they was forced to make their next move. So they called up Philly. Made that same offer to Philly. Philly accepted. The Nets turned around and sold Julius to the 76ers. Rest is history. Doc went to Philly. Sixers went to the championship that year. Hashtag, we've been cursed a really, really, really long time.